In the meantime, the Nigerian Stock Exchange has announced the commencement of the 2017 NSE essay competition with a call for entries from students in senior secondary schools in Nigeria. Our topic for this year's edition of the NSE to retail investor participation in the capital market discuss. Now, this has become imperative because it is believed that knowledge of the capital market is still abysmally low in the country. So let's talk to the head corporate communications at the NSE, Mr. Olumide Orojimi, on this particular issue. Good morning. Thank you very much for joining us on the program.
Thank you very much.
Now, the NSE essay competition has been on since 2000. What impact has this really made so far in terms of capital market literacy?
Thank you very much, Imeze, for having me this morning. When you look at Nigeria's population of about 180 million, and also another statistics that not more than 40 million Nigerians, do play or have one financial services product or the other that they've assessed. This tells you that there's a lot of work to be done by everybody, and that is why even on the federal government part, we have the FS 2020 strategy to ensure that at least 80% of Nigerians by 2020 do enjoy or access one financial services product or the other. On our part at the Nigerian Stock Exchange, we definitely are driving retail participation in the market, and that's why, since 2000, we've been having these sort of, various initiatives. We actually have 4 pillars through which we intervene, in the society around socioeconomic issues. And the essay competition we're talking about falls under one of those pillars, which is the community. Basically, our motivation is essentially to build a financially savvy future Nigerians. Today, people are talking about the 4th industrial revolution. They are talking about the Internet of Things, cloud computing, and the rest of it. But if all of these children don't even get to know and understand the basis of financial education, they can be financially included. So we're trying to catch them young, such that by the time in the next 5 to 7 years, these guys will be able to make very sound investment decisions and, of course, play a very key role, in the market. Now, talking about impact over the years, last year alone, we saw a participation, increase of about 76%, which affirms that there's a growing, interest, in the essay competition. We reach millions of people, through social media because this essay competition is targeted at senior secondary school pupils. And of course, they are very good, netizens. They play a lot on the social media and the rest of it. In terms of direct impact, working through agents like the NYSC, corpus, we've been able to reach over 30,000, students across 7,000 schools, and they are spread, across the geopolitical zones. What will interest you as well is the fact that some of the people that have participated in this essay competition, some of them are actually working in the Nigerian Stock Exchange today. Aside
from working in the Nigerian Stock Exchange, how many of them actually, know the process of investing in the market or what it takes to invest in the market or even have the interest to invest in the market?
That's a very good question to ask. If you look at the topic that we're talking about today, we're talking about retail investor participation in the capital market. Of course, these are the children that, in 5 to 7 years, they should, have been able to get into university, finished, and be able to have, some form of money with which they can then start investing. We've also prepared them ahead of that development by having a trading, application that they can, do from their mobile phones. And of course, we just don't throw open the essay competition like that. We go to various schools where we leverage the assembly school grounds to talk to these children about financial literacy before we even talk to them about the essay competition. So it's a veritable platform for them, to engage with us, learn from us. And the topic we usually pick on a yearly basis are topics that, will bring out the creativity in them, will make them research, and also, ensure that, they are well-grounded, as far as the capital market is concerned.
Now, what about, what's the level of participation of students in the rural areas?
I might not be able to give you the statistics, off the top of my head, but I can say to you that, we reach out to all the, geopolitical zones where security is not a challenge to us. And where it is, that's why the submission is an online platform. So you don't need to go to any of our branches to submit. You can submit online, to sa@nsc.com.ng. So even if you're in an area that is affected, but you've been able to see this from social media, you've been able to hear about it from newspapers or any other form of communication, you can definitely participate.
And what is the process of selection eventually? What determines a winner?
Okay. First off, we start with the first level of assessment, which is you respond to this topic with 1,000 words, which is your submission in the first phase. When you submit all entries, we've partnered with the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers. Other than the fact that they are very experienced, stockbrokers, they also conduct examinations. So that's the first level of assessment that each applicant goes through. And you have to score a minimum of 70% for you to be able to move to the second phase. Now, when you move to the second phase, because we reckon that, you are sitting from the comfort of your home to send this entry, to us. So the second phase, we actually invite those that scored 70% and above to the closest NSC branch to them, where they come in and write another test. And that second test they are writing is a different topic from the first one they've written. So if you've gotten help, at that second level of, examination, it will definitely come to the fore if you've gotten it. But if you are made of championship stuff, we'll definitely be able to see all of that.
That's Correct. The way you monitor whoever
Correct.
That may have gotten help
Correct.
from someone.
Correct. And we don't send the questions to the branches until the day and few minutes to the time that they're going to write the examination. And to move to the third level, we now collate the scores for the top 10 candidates, and those are the ones that we invite to Lagos that have another face-to-face interview with us to select the overall top 3 winners. You can see from each of these phases, different people get to examine and different stages of examination to actually ensure that the best comes out. And over the years, we've actually had very good winners that shows that really and truly they've been very, very good people who are very interested in the capital market. Another dynamics that we're seeing is that in the last 2 years, we're beginning to see the girl child, becoming more of winners. The last 2 editions have been won by girls. In fact, the last edition, we had an all-girl top 3 winners.
That's interesting to know. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Olumide Orujimi. Wish them all the best.
Thank you very much for having us.
Olumide Orujimi is the Corporate Communications at the Nigerian Stock Exchange. We'll take a quick break, and when we return, we'll look at the Nigerian banking sector.